Okay, some of you guys might remember I napped the Quartzite-like stone in another video recently, and it didn't. I made a Paleo point out of it, but it wasn't that great. Now I heat treated it. This is the same stuff. I brought it up to 500 degrees, so I'm gonna nap it, see how it turned out. This one has a patch of really bad concrete in it. I might not be able to nap through it, but we'll see. This one I tested a little bit just now, and it looks like it responded to the heat. So let's see how this one responded. Now I'm not sure if this type of Texas rock is more common than the regular chert. Seems to nap easier. I know some people have a lot of this stuff, or they know where they can get a lot of this stuff. I don't think it's all that common, but there are similar stones like this throughout the US that are quartzite-like. They're just very coarse cherts. Oops. Yeah, that's not good. If it's too crumbly, it won't be able to be napped. But if I can get long flakes, I might be able to do something with it. So I'm not going to give up on it yet, even though I lost quite a bit. It is much easier to nap, that's for sure. Yep. So yeah, 500 degrees or just under, like 495. It didn't quite reach the 500 on the needle. It was just under 500, so I guess 495 would be the temperature. But your results may vary no matter even if you have the same exact stuff. Could nap better than this or worse than this. Let's see. Well, that's interesting. Yeah. I don't know if it was doing that before. Probably not. I think I've actually seen arrowheads made of this. I mean, arrow points made of grainy stuff like this. They might have skinned off the these cortex pieces after heat treating the nodules. Where is it? I can make an arrowhead out of that as long as this cortex is solid. Let's see. Yeah, I can make arrowheads out of this. I might even do one on video. Yeah, if this goes well, or if this goes quick enough, I'll do a small arrow point out of the cortex of this. Out of one of those pieces I just knocked off. So So yeah, easy to skin off the Cortex for sure. I should be able to get the stats on this pretty soon, exactly what it is. 6 inches long. I don't know, it's like 7/8. It's been worn down. 7/8 thick by 2 inches wide. It was probably an inch thick, 1 by 2 by 6. And yeah, I'll find out the information on this so that you guys can get some, or I can buy another one too. I need the information too. So I know I'm going to break this pretty soon. Where's my... And I'm going to need another one. If it's cheaper than the grinding wheels, I'll buy another one. If it's not, then oh well. It's fun while it lasted. Okay, where to hit? Where to hit? That's what I want. I can make maybe something out of that one too. Yeah, so much more cooperative, especially near the Cortex. Now let's see if we can get some cooperation out of these down here. I didn't lose too much off the tip when I did that either, so that was good. Let's see, did it do it? Nice. It did it. I'm surprised. This is actually not too shabby. Ouch. I spoke too soon. There was a natural crack in there. Yes, yeah, there was. Did I notice it beforehand? I didn't even notice it. But yeah, so maybe some of you guys would have noticed that. I shouldn't have hit that because I might have been able to get under it without losing all that. Anyway. Defect in the stone. It's not my fault. It's my fault for not noticing it. Yeah, it is my fault for not noticing. But I don't know if I could get under it. It might have broken off anyway. Yeah. What am I going to make out of this? Something easy peasy? Of course. Got to make something easy peasy. Because it's more fun that way. Yep. Okay, so this stage is over, right? The next stage is refinement. Let's clean up. Excuse me. Yeah, brand new empty bucket. I mean, it's not brand new, but it's newly emptied. I like the sound of a newly emptied bucket. I broke that Carol Ann's bottle earlier. I popped the bottom off. That's my waste bin for rock chips. I emptied that out. Broke that bottom out of the bottle and then set it to the side for my new napping session tonight. All right. Next stage in this is refinement. All right. Yeah, I still haven't gotten to this. Let's see, how long is this going to take? It'll take forever if I can't find my file. All right. Let's see. Let's see if I can do this real quick. Is that good enough? That might be good enough. I didn't want to use this sander because it heats up the metal too much, but it's not too hot. Yeah. All right. Just a little more refinement, and I think we got it. Why don't I do this off camera? Because I forgot. Yep, can't fix forget. Forgetfulness. Still kind of early, so hopefully the dogs won't act up. Nice. Hopefully the neighbors won't be blasting music and give me a copyright strike. Yeah, I got a copyright strike not long ago. And there wasn't even any music in the background. Yeah. I guess if you what you say, if it matches lyrics somewhere in the universe or something, they'll put a copyright strike. If your explanation matches the lyrics from somewhere, that's what I'm thinking. I don't know. Anyway, I got a copyright strike on one of my weird napping videos. Yeah, they're all weird, I know. But that surprised me. This was happened in the last couple weeks. So they had the monetization paused for a little bit. I didn't even check to see if it's back monetized or not. Oh yeah, and I was looking the other day on my channel, and there's a new option now. You can gift. You can send me money directly. I'll show that later, but I didn't notice that feature until I was watching someone else's channel. And you know where there's buttons across, like you can save to your favorites and stuff, and you can kind of, there's a lot of buttons between the thumbnail and the comment section. There's buttons, and you can go through there. I forget what they're all about, right? Anyway, you scroll this way and there's more buttons, and one of them is like a heart with a dollar sign in it or something, and you can click that and donate money. Yeah, and I went through the whole rigmarole, and it'll charge you either your credit card or PayPal. Yeah, it starts off at $2, and you can go all the way up to 500. I don't know how much YouTube takes of that. So I actually had to do I had to go through and actually donate to see how much YouTube takes of it. Probably 20%. I don't know. Anyway, I thought that was interesting. In case someone wants to do it. They don't want to spend any money on the auction, but they want to support my channel. $2, $5. Yeah. The reason why I mentioned it is because I have a nap-in coming up, and I want to buy some rock at the nap-in. I'm saving my pennies to buy rocks. It's the best place to buy rocks is at a nap-in, because it's you can see what you're getting. It's a face-to-face transaction. You can ask questions. You can see what you're getting. You can pick your own stones. You can ask buddies for help, the ones that know about the stones, before you buy something. Yeah, it's the best place to buy stone is at a nap-in. I think. Or directly from a rock supplier, you drive up to their place and pick up a bunch directly from them. Now that's more expensive, but it's cheaper per pound. You're going to spend more money with a rock supplier if you drive up to their place, but it's cheaper per pound than at the nap-in. Sometimes a rock supplier is at the nap-in. They're not a napper, they're just a supplier. They hang around, they sip coffee, they go around looking at people's nappings and strike up conversations. They still enjoy the napping. Some of them don't nap, the rock suppliers. It's rare though. It behooves the rock supplier to get into napping so they know what's good to nap. So they know what rocks to sell. And they know they'll find out what rocks to go after. They'll test them in the field, and sometimes they come up with some original and hard to find exotic pieces. And they won't know it's any good unless they knew how to nap. So it's rare to find a rock supplier who doesn't nap. At least a little bit. Yeah. So this is still a little crunchy even though it's heat treated. See how it crunches on the edges? But it's a whole lot easier. I'm probably crunching too much of it because of the steel. Let's see if the aluminum is more conducive. Let's see. It naps it. It's not wimping out on me. Yeah, the steel will nap through anything. The aluminum, not so much. But this is doing all right. I did get a step fracture somewhere right here. Yeah. I'm still in the refinement stage, trying to. It's not working all that great, but I'm adjusting. Yeah, I think the aluminum might be a little bit better on the edge. A little more genteel. As long as it doesn't take a bite out of the edge, I'll be happy. Yeah, I can't really remember how the other stuff was, other than completely miserable. This is not too bad, even though it does do the same kind of things that it was doing in the raw state, but I don't have to wind up and strike this with a lot of force. It's not bad. It's just like everything else. And it does eat up some of the aluminum. That's a thick striking area. That might be just a tough spot too. Okay. It grinds down really easy. See that? That ground down really easy. So I hit that pretty hard. And it worked. Didn't go quite all the way across, which is okay. That's good. You don't want it always to travel really far. Might end up overshooting. Yes, nice. I wasn't able to do that before, right? This is good. Yeah. Or maybe I was able to do that, but with hitting it like it was going to break every single time. I am having to hit it hard, but it's not like it's feeling like it's going to break. Although it is beating up the aluminum tip. All right, let's hit this tough spot up here. I think that's what the problem is. It's just a tough spot. All right, so I got to get this lump off there too. This lump here. Eventually. Yeah, maybe have to do it from the other side. Shoot a flake across. I know I can probably shoot a flake that far because of the way it's behaving so far. We'll see. If the flake doesn't travel that far, I'm in trouble. Because it will create an island that's difficult to attack. Let me regularize the edges. You can see where we're at. we can see where we are at. Or I can see where I am at. I don't know why I say we. It's regularized enough to see where I'm at. Now I've got to be very careful about what I do for damage control. It's getting thin enough to snap in half. And I gotta hit it pretty hard. See if I can smack off some of those step fractures. Yes, no, maybe. Alright, here we go. Nope, that didn't do it. That's better. Nice flake. We may be able to clear out the center, at least on this side. That would be nice. Alrighty. That's about as good as I can expect. Yeah, it's clear enough. Very good. The only spot left is that one right there. And after I fix the symmetry, I think I'll have a better chance at getting it. I'll probably have to live with some of the step fractures on the interior. Some of these stem fractures in there. I'll just leave them in. Yep. I didn't measure this one before I started, did I? I can't remember. Gotta be very careful. It feels really thin. It's eating the aluminum. Come on. Did it do it? Oh, tell me it can be done. Let's see. I sawed this one off, this little punch. I'm going to hit it directly on the metal. See if that can do it. Let me file it a little bit flatter. I'm going to use the rounded end to get just slightly scooped out. Because right now the surface of the sides are convex. They've got to be flat or slightly scooped out. So I use the half round. Why is that important? Because hitting a step fracture at the correct angle is half the battle. If you hit it at the wrong angle, it'll dive in. You know, if I hit that and this is too high up, that step fracture dives right in. But if it's just skimming the top, it usually works. If I can catch the front of it. If I can hit the face of the step fracture. Maybe I'll do metal on metal. Let's try that. Yeah, it's probably too late. I already hit the front of that a lot. Let's try this side, but metal on metal this time. A little bit of hammering. There it is. I can try it on this one a little bit. It's dicey though. Let's see. Why is it dicey? Because I could hit way too much off, and that one will dive in too. Ooh, that one was good. Hit it. Knock it down as much as I can. Yeah. All right. I'll do some sculpting of the tip. Let's see, with the steel. The steel doesn't grip as much, so there's not much of a danger, not as much of a danger of pulling off the tip. Because if it pulls too much, the tip will just snap right off. It'll be pulled right off. Steel doesn't grab it as much. Yeah, it doesn't grab it nearly as much as the aluminum, which results in shorter flakes, but at least there's no breakage. You got to have a little bit of pull to make the longer flakes. I could train the dogs not to do that barking. I tried it once already. You know, I'd get after them with voice commands and put them in kennels if they start barking. You know, right away, put them in the kennel. Do stuff like that, but it takes a lot of time. So I haven't done it. I used to do it a little bit. Especially at night when all the kids were still at home. They say, "Dad, the dogs are barking, I can't sleep." So I tried to train them not to bark using different methods. They work for a little while, then they go right back to being little boogerheads. So yeah, I prioritize the napping over the dog stuff. All right, let's see what I can do about this. I'm gonna have to get closer to that problem. I'll do it in a minute. Let me take care of some of this. Yeah, I'm able to get long flakes with the steel, so I don't have to use the aluminum. It's a lot thinner than before. It seems to be that way. Who watched the Ballad of Buster Scruggs? Or who has seen it? I didn't receive many comments related to that except one, I think. So I don't know if you guys have seen the movie. Or maybe you saw the movie and you're just chuckling and not commenting. It's one of the few movies that I actually sat and watched recently. Did it do it? It did it. I'm liking this heat treat. Yes, I am. If I add a little bit of pressure to it before I strike, those flakes seem to go very far. Yep. With the steel. I wasn't putting much pressure with the aluminum, and they were traveling. The flakes were traveling. With the steel, though, it helps to add a little bit of pressure. I don't know why. I don't know the mechanics of this stuff. I just test it, and if it works, it works. I try it, and if it works, it works. My default is not much pressure at all. Just enough to seat the flaker on the edge. That's it. You know, a little bit just to get it seated, not a lot. That's the default. Sometimes I'll try a lot, and if it works, I'll continue to do it. Sometimes it doesn't work. Sometimes added pressure, all it does is smash the striking area or make a big old mess. Yeah. So this looks almost identical to the raw state. I've already removed the stuff that got darker and discolored by the heat treat. So this may fool you if you see artifacts made with this that are really thin and you try napping this stuff in the raw state. You go, how did they ever nap it? It looks raw. Yeah, but it's not. But it looks identical to the raw state. And lo and behold, they were able to get thin points because they heat treated it, and it doesn't look heat treated. Imagine that. Does that look heat treated? It just looks the same. But, you know, some guys, not us, but, you know, some people, they like the thought that they've got an artifact made by an extra special flint napper that could nap the raw stuff as if it was heat treated or as if it was not difficult. And they got the one that was made by the very special napper who can nap this stuff raw and get it tater chip thin. So they don't even want to think about the original napper finding a good piece or heat treating it or both. They want to believe that it's raw, extremely difficult to knap, because if that's the case, then they got a special, extra special artifact. Yeah, it's true. That's what sometimes happens. Not with us, because we know that sort of thing doesn't matter, whether it's raw or heat treated. As long as it's an artifact. As long as we can study it. Alright, come on, steel. Usually you will just pound and drive right through that stuff. But it's not doing it. I got to get right up against it. That's what I did not want to do. Because it loses too much width. But I tried the distant approach. Now I got to get it right up next to it. Dang, that's gonna be dicey, because it's a very, very hard hit on something that could break the whole thing. There we go. So that gives me a little bit better, although I lost a lot of edge, gives me not a little bit, a lot better chance at popping off that little lump. Alright, here we go. Did it do it? Ooh, it went over the top, but it didn't pop it off. Dang it. Yeah, and even though it's heat treated, it still became narrow. Even though I could run long flakes, it still became narrow because I want to get rid of that lump. To make it perfect, it causes a lot of waste. I'm pretty sure that's the thing that's going to be one of the rules of flint knapping. The more perfect it is, the more waste you're going to have. And the more rock you're going to need. To produce the perfect points. Alright, we got it. But at what cost? That cost a lot in material. And a little bit of symmetry. It cost in both symmetry and material. Symmetry does matter with projectile points. It doesn't matter with knives. But with projectile points, you know, you should have a balanced point. Don't have to. It'll still do a number on the target, even if it's a slightly warped or curved or slightly not symmetrical. But it also helps to preserve the strength of the artifact, or the strength of the projectile point, if it's symmetrical. If it's wonky, there's forces that get put on it that are unnecessary, and it could snap it just because it's wonky. It doesn't matter too much with a knife, because all you're looking for on a knife is a sharp edge that is reasonably straight. reasonably straight because then a lot of the edge gets engaged efficiently. That's why chef's knives are not all wonky. If it made them better to be curved, they would make chef's knives and butcher knives curved. But they make them perfectly straight. And I don't know if that's for aesthetics or efficiency. Well, it's easier to sharpen, that's for sure. A modern knife is easier to sharpen if it's nice and straight, because then you just hone it on a sharpening stone or whatever. Yeah. I didn't think about that part. All right, so what am I going to make with it? I don't know. It started off pretty big, didn't it? And to get it flat with no lumps and no step fractures for the most part, I had to go narrow. But now that we're at the critical stage of deciding what I'm going to do with it, I haven't decided. All right, let's see. I'll decide while I'm pressure flaking it. I could just put a lame little stem on it. Straight stem. Why do I say lame? Because it's the easy way out. It's the path of least resistance. Not because it doesn't look good, but because I'm taking a shortcut or the path of least resistance. Yeah. Just a straight stem. It's pressure flaking well. Yeah, I'm amazed at the difference between this and the raw stuff. It's a little more fragile than I thought it would be. But it's nice. Yep. I'm afraid to go thinner, but I'm going to try a little bit. I'm going to try a little bit thinner so I can get rid of some of this tip mass. Maybe. We'll see. The edges feel a little bit less sharp than on the raw piece, if I'm remembering correctly. These do feel sharp, but I think the raw piece felt sharper. I don't remember clearly. I vaguely remember that. I sold a piece, so I can't compare it. It's already sold. Already went out. The mail was slightly delayed. I sent everything out. The last one's out this morning. I need to give out tracking numbers tonight. I sent half of it yesterday and half of it this morning, which is late for me. Yeah. I had to delay the shipping a little bit. I had some errands to do. Family stuff. I know I shouldn't be grinding the edges right now because I said I was going to leave it thick. I'm going to try thinning it just a little bit. Yeah, just a little bit more. I don't want to have the excuse that the glove got in the way, so I took them off, or took that one off. Use the finer abrader. Ouch. All right, good. I think that works. It's a little steppy, but I think I can do it. I think I can clear it up. Not like that. Maybe like that. Yes. Okay, here we go. I can't be gentle. No. You can't totally get rid of its uncooperative nature. Yeah, I'm in the zone right now because I'm trying to for a little bit of perfection. Just a little bit. If I can try to get it fixed, I will. These little defects. No, not like that. Let's try the fine grit abrader. Yeah, okay. Ouch. That's not releasing at all. So yeah, I can't get complete perfection. But we got close. Yes, we did. Come on. I know I can pick some of that out. Yes? No? It's not cooperative. Let's make it cooperative. Shall we? No. I can't force it either. So I got a series of steps on that pass. But other than that, it's alright. It's alright. No worries. So the difference is I could actually reach the center with the flaking and do damage control now that it's heat treated. It looks like the same exact material. The heat treatment didn't change the color. It just changed the nappability. Yep. 500 degrees is not hard to get with a fire, campfire, or a deliberate heat treat fire. It's not hard to get 600 or 700 degrees either, but to sustain that amount, you need a big fire. But to get 500, the fire doesn't need to be that big. Unless you're heat treating a lot of stone. And this kind of looks like the type of stone you would put around the campfire anyway, because it doesn't look like it can be used for much. And then you find out later, as you're running out of knapping material, you grab one of the stones around the fire ring. You say, I'm going to try it, because maybe, just maybe, I'll just try anything right now. We're out of knapping stone. And voila, you've got knappable stone sitting next to the fire the whole time. Yep. Didn't break up or anything. High temperatures, no problem. Repeated heatings, no problem. Still naps. And if they didn't know about heat treating before then, now they do. Yep. Alright, so what can I put on here as a cool stem? Cool and fantastic. Fluted, make a folsome. I wish. Is it translucent? Not really. Let's see. I was thinking Ensor. There's not very many with a convex base. Not many points with a convex base. Most of them are flattened out or they're notched. Let me think here. Is there one? There's Wecho or Weko that has a convex base. Yeah, let's just do that one. It seems appropriate for this material anyway. Okay. You're not going to want to notch? You better. I didn't spend that money heat treating for nothing. You better become a Weko point. Yeah. How do you spell that? Hueco. Hueco. Now that's good. There's no way I could have done that in a raw state. And one of the clues when you're looking at a piece of, or you're looking at an artifact that's been notched and it looks impossible to notch, there's a good chance it was heat treated so it could be notched. Yep. That's one way you can tell. Some people are going to go, no, that's how you can tell it was an expert napper napping the impossible. Because I got an extra special artifact made by the extra special napper. Some people you cannot convince that it's not extra special. It's got to be extra special. Anyway, heat treating makes it easy to notch, or easier. It's never easy, unfortunately, but it can get easier. Especially when you do the big pop outs. And it doesn't even need to be heavily heated, you know, with extremely high temperatures or for long periods of time. Just a little bit sometimes is good enough. But in this case, it's 500 degrees. I wasn't going to go lower than that because I didn't want to reheat it. I took a chance and maybe it would have broken up. But, oh well, I took the chance and it actually worked. So, I got lucky. Yes, yes. And now it's easy to notch, relatively speaking. Now, back in the day, if they didn't know you heat treated it, and they're watching you, and they're going, "How are you napping that raw stuff?" And if you were not honest, you would say, "Because I am a very strong and skilled craftsman." Yeah. Get out of my face. You think they did that back in the day? They heat treated it without anyone looking, and then they started napping it, and they're going, "You must be blessed to be able to nap that. We can't even do it. Not even after lots of prayer and fasting. How do you do it?" And he'll say, "Well, because you just said I'm blessed." Yeah. Why do I think about that kind of stuff? Because it's kind of funny. Just imagining what they would do back in the day for entertainment. Yeah, entertain yourself by fooling people. Yeah, it's not a good entertainment policy. It's not a healthy thing to be doing, but you know, it could have been done. Stranger things have happened. It's not like we are seeing any fraud or anything like that these days. There's no pretentiousness these days. There's no back room hidden things being done to make the people look like they're extra special. No. Not at all. No filters in social media. Everyone's just the way they look. That's the way they are. Right? Yeah. The kids, the younger they are, the more they know about the filters. But I'm finding a lot of people my age are not understanding about the filters. It's not real. They show me, look, this person changed from being really ugly to being really good looking because of this particular thing that they're doing. They're exercising their face and stuff. Or they're doing some special makeups and all that kind of stuff. Isn't this awesome? It changes their whole look. I say, yeah, it's a filter. What? What's a filter? It's like a AI. It's technology to make you look better. You look at the shape of the face, the outline of the face. There's no way you can change the shape of your chin with makeup. You can shade around it, but if you look at the outline of the chin between the different, as an example, different pictures, you can see one chin on the pretty face is nice and pointy. The chin on the ugly face is bulky. Now, they may be doing the opposite. Instead of putting the filter to make themselves look good, they put the filter to make themselves look bad, so that when they remove the filter, they look better. And the better one is actually the real picture. But they get attention because they make themselves look ugly to begin with. Yeah. I know my sister was fooled by one of those. She goes, look how bad she looks beforehand. I said, yeah, that's a filter to make you look bad. Really? Yeah. You can tell it changes the bone structure. There's no way you can change bone structure with makeup and facial exercises. Not in the short term anyway. In the long term, if you have braces and other things like that, yeah, you can change the bone structure, but not with just simple exercises. Anyway, I brought that up because of some people might be skeptical. No, they didn't fool people back in the day with stuff like this. Heat treating was known by everybody and was up front. No one was deceiving anybody. They were all noble and honest. Yeah. Okay. Sure. Heat treating is one of those arcane arts that only certain people know about. That's what I think. Yeah. Of course, I'm just a rando. I'm a rando. R-A-N-D-O. It's like, that means random person. Nothing, no one in particular. No credentials. No croutons on the word salad. No credential croutons on the word salad. No, I got no croutons. Okay. So it's a wecko point. Wecko. Sounds like Pac-Man. Yep. Look it up. It's a real thing. I'm not making it up. Although I can make up points. You'll never know. I say look it up and you'll come back. I looked it up but I can't find it. I'm not looking hard enough, man. Keep looking. Okay. You go look more. I can't find it. It's there, man. Can you give me a link? No, I forgot. Okay. They keep looking. That's like the trick when you say, what? Someone says something, and back in the day, we used to do that to people. What? And they repeat it. You make them repeat. You can make people search for stuff that you know doesn't exist. So you learn all these things if you have kids, because they're sneaky. They'll find a way to be sneaky and do stuff, and you got to be on your game. Yeah. To catch this stuff. Because who's the arbiter when the kids are having trouble with each other? Like, you did it. No, I didn't do it. Yes, you did. You did it. No, I didn't do it. How are you going to settle these arguments and stuff without knowing the backstory and all these little tricks that they might be doing? Yeah. Learn from the best. Yeah. Even when it comes to these little deceptions. All right, here you go. That's it. I think that's close enough to the wecko point. I'm not sure exactly on the base, but I think that's pretty close. I think maybe the sides were straighter. I can't remember. I don't have my red book, my Texas Indians Artifacts book. But there you go. Much better, much more enjoyable to nap this than before. My goodness. So yeah, another lesson in heat treat, making life much better and easier. Alrighty, there you go.